You understand the concept of supply and demand, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. It's like the most basic like shit that you have in economy. The higher the demand and the lower the supply, the more expensive something is. And this applies to anything you have. This is what controls the price for anything. Cars, diamonds, and drugs.
But the black market doesn't function like a normal market.
No, it still functions as a normal market. You have the supplier, the drug dealers, and you have the consumers. It's just like any other business. Is the government involved in the drug trade? So basically, you know that Pablo Escobar was killed by the U.S. government, right? The U.S. government was trying to kill Pablo Escobar, and because of
The
the
DEA.
yeah, the DEA was hunting down Pablo Escobar. Now, what's crazy about this is that the United States government is run by some of the most intelligent people in the world. These people have incredible IQs and they know a lot. They're extremely knowledgeable. Now, what happened when they killed Pablo Escobar is that actually drug consumption in the United States and all around the world actually increased. Now, why is this? Pablo Escobar had a monopoly over the cocaine industry. He controlled everything. Now, what happened when you killed Pablo Escobar is that they completely destroyed the business. There was a lot more people that would be able to compete in this market because Pablo Escobar was assassinated. So the price of cocaine went down and more people could afford cocaine because the market was just more competitive without Pablo Escobar in the picture. Now, what is crazy is this is super predictable. Like, these people in the United States government, they knew that if they killed Pablo Escobar, this was going to be the side effect. Now, if these people are so incredibly smart, they probably knew that this was going to happen. Why did they still try to kill Pablo Escobar? The only thing that seems to make sense is if they're somewhat benefited by this. Now, what's also fucking crazy is that apparently there's a theory that says that 2008 economic crash, the only thing that sustained the U.S. economy was the GDP brought in by the drug trade.
I wouldn't doubt that the U.S. government does that. I was even talking to this U.S. guy saying that the cartels had like a cruise ship full of fentanyl that the CIA seized offshore with like submarines and stuff.
Actually.
But yeah, and they said that they had nowhere to put it though, because you can't stash a cruise like a Titanic-sized ship. So it was half of the size of the Titanic, full of fentanyl.
What the
So
fuck?
what I heard is that like black market CIA agents like sell it to the public, which is why there's a huge drug and fentanyl epidemic and people are like dying. But yeah, I wouldn't doubt.
That's crazy. Yeah, because you know there's a black market, like not a black market, but you can buy like used cars and used property by criminals, and it's like super cheap. Like you can buy like a crazy sports car for like €5 because like some drug dealer used it in like his escape, and it's like mint condition. It's perfectly usable. I think that's like crazy. Like honestly, if I ever buy a sports car, I'm buying it like off of there. Yeah, I just think it's like super fucking crazy that happened. Like the whole economy didn't crash because of it. Because the United States has this whole like agenda and this whole narrative of like, oh, war on drugs.
Didn't you just see the new news saying that Biden was the one who bombed the Russian-German pipeline?
Actually,
yeah, and
I didn't see that. What the fuck?
And they were building gas tankers when there was no demand for gas tanking, right before the pipeline was blown up. And then spontaneously the thing blew up, and now Germany has to buy liquid gas from the US. And oh wow, what a 1900s. And you can see that the senators 3 days before the pipeline blew up, they invested a whole bunch of money on the pipeline.
Oh shit! Yeah, Nancy Pelosi, bro. She's fucking crazy, bro. Every time she does a law or something in Senate, she always like buys out shit and invests in shit right before it. It's fucking crazy, bro.
Oh guys, corruption only exists in Africa, guys. Come on.
No, guys, it's not corruption if you call it lobbying. Guys, it's just lobbying. It's not corruption.
No, guys. They literally bombed, and they said that was the single one event that caused the biggest greenhouse emissions to ever which shows you that they don't care about greenhouse emissions.
Oh, yeah, of course.
They literally do not care.
They don't.
The one event that produced the most amount of greenhouse emissions in the world.
Bro, the government just does whatever it wants to like increase its power. It's actually fucking crazy. Like, what was it? I mean, I don't know if it's a theory or if it's actually been confirmed, but with the war on drugs, Ronald Reagan used like cocaine and substances to oppress like black minorities. They were like trying to
There's a
trying
whole
to
name
like
for that,
yeah. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's like
Yeah, they introduced crack to black
yeah,
neighborhoods.
crack. Yeah, that's a
That's
drug.
crazy. Not saying anything about that.
Oh, say more drugs. Guys, it has been such a successful endeavor. We've really
They
progressed as
literally,
a society.
they're literally in a epidemic right now of drugs in the U.S.
Yeah, and they've been fighting drugs for what, like 300 million years, bro. Sorry.
Their whole history.
Their whole history, man. Like, yeah, no, because it's crazy. Like, do you know, like, Portugal also had a very big issue with drugs back in the day. Like parents' times, like, drugs were everywhere. Like, even more than now, you know, like, Portugal still has a drug problem. Okay, bro, listen. I'm gonna tell a story.
The decriminalization of the drugs helped a lot.
Yeah.
Just, bro, I don't know. Developed countries in general, they just have a drug. Maybe it's the whole world. I don't know. Like, there's people at my school that do ecstasy and shit, bro.
Actually, what the fuck?
Like, I'm for real. They do, like, so many people have done shrooms too.
Ecstasy
Like,
is no joke. That's like people die from that.
ecstasy. Yeah, they call it MDMA or something.
Oh yeah, people actually die from ecstasy. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, like that's one of the. I'm pretty sure that's one of the easiest drugs for you to overdose.
No.
Yeah.
Are you dead ass?
No, yeah. People that do heroin, apparently the time where they died the most is when they were recovering, and so they stopped doing heroin, and then they start again. But then because they like lost that like immunity per se, your body just enters a shock, and the dose that would make you like feel something for actually kills you once you try to like start to like try to go back, you know, to quit it. I think that's really sad. I think that's really fucking sad. You know, you're trying to improve yourself and you die.
One of the drugs that you can't go cold turkey on,
Yeah.
like alcohol, and I think that can kill you.
Oh yeah, alcohol. Yeah, you can literally overdose. It's not overdose, but like withdrawal from alcohol is actually like fucking crazy. Like you start shaking and shit.
Yeah.
You like
You
it's,
can die.
it's
No, you
crazy.
can literally die.
Yeah, and bro, that's so crazy. Like that drink that like if I open my fridge, there's like a bunch of like alcohol, like, and that's crazy to me. You have access to that. It's crazy.
So mainstream, yeah. The nicotine, bro. I don't know. Drugs are normal in society nowadays.
Yeah. Tips, I think, really were a lesson
Yeah,
to many
no,
things. The shit that they did on kids, bro. Fucking marketing as oh guys, it's Lego, Star Wars, Jolly Rancher, blueberry, cotton candy. Like that shit was
Right?
fucked. That shit is fucked.
Bro, in my school, they
Bro, and
had to put vape alarms in the bathroom. They're drug testing people.
No,
And-
it's not. I thought it was only.
No, it's the whole world. They also put vapes.
Oh, they don't have alarms, but like they do bag searches and stuff pretty frequently. Like they're always searching your bag. They're always trying to like catch you.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Bag searches.
And
Who do
what?
people have pads and tampons?
No, and like it's kind of fucked for that as well. Yeah, like there's things you don't want to be like displaying out to the world, but like there's people that literally like they get weed. Right, they like put it in their bags, and then during lunchtime they like go and smoke it. And so like at the last period, they're like high as fuck. Yeah, not in school. In front of school, there's a cafe, and so they go outside of school. They go to the cafe, they smoke, and then they come back to school. You can leave.
Damn. Bro,
Like-
weed. Just
Yeah.
that recreational. During
That
school.
recreational. Yeah.
That's not good for you.
No, it's terrible, right? Like I remember there's this one kid that was like you could literally see it in his face. He was not having a good time because there's people that like have they're like schizophrenic or something. So they like yeah.
No,
they start-
no, yeah.
they start
'cause
freaking out.
Can activate a schizophrenia.
Yeah,
gene.
exactly.
Did
And
you know
you
that?
yeah. Oh yeah. And then you get like fucking stuck. Like you get stuck.
Bro,
Oh,
one moment you're chilling with your friends, and then the dark shadowy figure, bro. Nah, that's not even.
The dark shadowy figure just doesn't leave you.
Oh my. Remember the party, bro. When we were at the party.
No, guys, get away from me. No. Get away from me! Get away from me! That was mad.
That was actually paranoia. I heard a friend that said she did shrooms and she got stuck in a bad trip, but like for 3 hours, and it just wasn't stopping, and she was screaming, thinking that it would never end,
What
and
the
that she was gonna
fuck?
get stuck. It was 3 hours straight of like her. People said that if you're on shrooms, like it's so easy for you to jump off a building. and stuff like
Actually,
that.
what the fuck? That's fucked.
No, that's scary.
Bro. I don't know why, but I
Yeah,
do
and I have so many friends that have done it, and they're like, it's a magical experience, and that you appreciate life, and it's a paradigm shift. I'm like, bro,
It's actually mad, dude.
bro, everything's legal here, which is the scary part.
Actually,
Like,
it's
I was with at a shopping mall, and she's just like, okay, yeah, let's go buy shrooms at the shop, and there was like 2 shroom and weed shops, like in the
what?
shopping mall. Imagine Colombo.
Ah,
But I'm like,
what?
no, I don't do that. I said I'm scared of those stuff. I'm not doing that. But literally, just in a shopping mall, bro.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
but there's so many homeless people here,
Yeah,
like
well-
without teeth and stuff. Meth.
Yeesh,
It's crazy.
That's fucked. That's fucked. What was it? Did you see that guy? I think it was on Joe Rogan that he said that he like took what's it called, AMD, and he had like a whole life. Yeah, DMT. He had like a whole life. He had children. He got married.
Nah,
and then he like woke up. Not hear about that.
I'm good. I'm
Bro,
good. I
he
don't
literally
want
said he had a whole second life. All of these possibilities from drugs, like there's no way the government doesn't use it to like their advantage. And I know for like almost fact that these powerful governments, they know about all of these like effects and they're using it to their advantage. That's
You
why
know what,
that's why
Alex
the United
Jones-
States is losing the war on drugs. It's because they want to lose.
Yeah, no, for sure. I feel like if they wanted to ban it or conquer it, they could.
Yeah.
But listen, you know what Jones' theory on this is?
What?
It says that DMT is like not a chemical that you add, like adds to your perception. It like takes away a filter that your brain has.
Oh
And his
yeah,
theory-
yeah.
The
Dude.
theory is that the government knows this, and that's why they're making it. I think that's a complete like garbage story, but that's his theory, bro. Imagine, like, what benefit would it be to the government? I mean, people say it cures depression, right? Because they say depression is like, oh, you have a narrow point of view on life, and you think that you can escape. But then once you do these stuff, it's like, oh, it's a whole paradigm shift. You find out that there's a whole different world.
Yeah, fuck. It's right about Bohemian Grove.